When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
When you run away, you're a coward, and that's a cowardly act. Now, this video was sent to me. Multiple people mentioned it, said that this is President Ramaphosa talking about the Afrikaner refugees who've gone to America. Now, I can't prove the provenance, but I am going to state the following. If he said that regarding those people who bravely went into the unknown and risked everything, surrendered everything, he really doesn't understand what cowardice is. Of course, this comes from a man who has BMW 8 Series armored vehicles to travel around in. He has bodyguards, as we see those who Paul Mashatili's detail beat the living daylights out of innocent civilians when necessary. We see that this is a person who lives in plush, sumptuous, luxurious life with hundreds of millions of dollars, with escorts and guards and pampered food, pampered existence. And he's calling people who pick up stakes and move to another place for their own safety cowards. Well, if that's what he really said, the video he says it, but I don't know what he's referring to because I didn't see the whole thing. If he said that, he's clearly misinformed and misunderstanding what real courage and what cowardice is, because that's not cowardice, that's courage. It takes great courage to do what these people have done. Courage in the face of chaos. These people have been victimized over and over again. The stories are absolutely horrific and unbelievable, but they're true. And it took real courage to express interest and then go on this program.
When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
Not cowardice. It's not cowardly for people to want to have a life, to raise their children in safety and sanctuary. There's nothing cowardly about that whatsoever. It's nothing unpatriotic about it. It's heartbreaking to watch people leave who have no choice but to leave because of the nonsense going on. But this is the reality facing so many South Africans today. And by the way, it's not just Afrikaners, it's certainly not just farmers. That's utter nonsense. As I predicted and as I hoped and expected, it's not just those who are Afrikaners who will have this opportunity. It's ethnic minorities in South Africa. So the 6 to 8 million colored South Africans, the 1.3 million Indian South Africans, and maybe even a few black South Africans who could fall into that category, Khoi and San, may now find themselves with a golden ticket to the United States. And it's a shame that anyone has to leave. I don't want to see anybody leave South Africa. But folks, cowardice? If I had BMWs escorting me and I had armed guards and body armor and ballistic glass, I suppose I could call people a coward too for taking a courageous step.
When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
But this, of course, folks, is the problem with elites the world over. It doesn't matter whether it's South Africa or it's America. The disconnected elite politicians who have everything handed to them and people waiting them hand and foot, they don't get the plight of ordinary people. Here that Trump actually used the term white genocide. That's unfortunate because it now gives the left ammunition for their fairy tale. The fairy tale that they've been perpetuating for years, blaming white South Africans for things they have nothing to do with. The bottom line here, folks, is that these people are leaving, and it's sad. That's a tragedy. Cowardice? No, Cyril Ramaphosa, it's not cowardice. It's bravery in the face of epic odds. And that's what those who fled for refuge around the world have done for centuries, including the hundreds of thousands of Sudanese, Somalis, and others, Burmese, Chinese, that Trump gave refuge to during his first term, which they seem to have forgotten about. Cheers, folks.